So can we just take a few moments to discuss how disturbing Pero is as a person? Like, let me read some of the dialogue of this chapter. Now, this could be translation errors and stuff, and this is not what he really said in the Japanese version, but in the English version that we all read on MS, I want to read the dialogue, and tell me if this does not weird you out when I say it, especially if you take it out of context. Well, even if you take it with context, it's really, really weird, especially if you know the character Pero. So, let me explain the situation and speak about the dialogue. So, basically, Chopper, Brook, they're being turned into Candymen. They are getting completely covered in candy, and then once they're completely covered for like over 3 minutes, they will die. They will straight up die, and they'll become candy, basically. So here is the dialogue that Pero said to Brook and Chopper, or especially when Chopper was getting completely covered and Brook was just sitting there watching and couldn't do anything. "You fool, it's over. Those who stand against me, I'll turn into Candymen and mercilessly lick." Okay, that's not just it, okay? He also says, "I said I'd let the two of you go. I'm no Candyman myself. You must have fought me sweeter than I am." Let me say that again, just in case you didn't understand that. "I'm no Candyman myself. You must have fought me sweeter than I am." What? 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 Like that? What? Like, okay, Pero, I'm sorry. Oh my God, this man. That's obviously a translation error there. But I mean, mercilessly lick corpses. This man's fucked. Pero's messed up in the head, dude. This man is legit messed up. So, anyways, with jokes aside, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is Pedro blowing himself up at the end of the chapter. Okay, number one. Most likely, he's not going to die. I want to state this because there's a lot of obvious reasons. Not just because One Piece is a shonen, which usually shonen, you don't have stuff like that, but also the fact that when it comes to One Piece and explosions are like the weakest thing in this series. No joke, I mean, you'd think an explosion would be very powerful, but after many things we have seen in One Piece, explosions are very weak in consideration. I mean, look at what, Pell did in, a long time ago. Survived basically a nuke. So, explosions aren't really dangerous, so to say. However, Oda is a very good writer. I'm not going to put the man down. He's a very solid writer when it comes to One Piece. He has had many quality chapters, many quality arcs. He has a fantastic series, so I won't put him down, and I won't doubt him, because there is a potential possibility that Pedro might die here. Won't even say it's not a possibility, because it definitely is a possibility. He could die. However, it is a cliffhanger. There is no chapter of One Piece next week, so just FYI, if you're unaware, no chapter. So, the explosion could have been used as more of a way to give us a cliffhanger, and then everything will be fine when the chapter finally comes back. So, I personally don't think he's dead. I don't think Pedro is dead. He'll probably be injured, but I don't think he is dead. However, Pero's probably going to be injured and probably put out of the fight completely. And probably, his Devil Fruit ability will calm down or whatever, and he won't be able to use it or manipulate the candy or anything. I can definitely see that being a thing. But when it comes to Pedro probably dying, I don't think he is, GG, dead, gone, all that. I believe it'll be fine. But we gotta remember what he did say at the end of the chapter, which, like I said, this is the direction Oda could take it if he wants to put more meaning to this arc with the Yonko facing Big Mom, because facing a Yonko is a dangerous thing. We have seen time and time again throughout this arc that you don't just walk into a Yonko's territory and think you're gonna get out without any problems. And I would like to see some form of major thing happen here where something very bad happens to someone and nothing can be done about it because it's a Yonko. They weren't ready for this. I mean, it's clear as day while they're running from Big Mom these past couple chapters that they're in no way in hell ready to face a Yonko. If they can't bring down Big Mom, how are they going to bring down someone that's like Kaido that's immortal and can't really even be killed? I mean, Big Mom has already shown that she's insanely powerful and durable. Just imagine, Kaido. And then let's not even get into Blackbeard, which has the power of what he already had, his Devil Fruit ability, and then Whitebeard's Devil Fruit ability. But then you have Shanks, which is like, Shanks a whole new ball game. Like, fighting that man, did you see that man's hockey? It split the cloud. So there's just no way in hell that any of our characters are ready to face a Yonko. So I would like to see some form of permanent damage happen. And I know many might complain about Pedro's death for one reason, and that is because of Luffy's development after the time skip. With Ace's death, that was a critical moment in the series. It was one of the best arcs and best moments of One Piece, just that entirety of the series. The Whitebeard War and all that, that was insane. But the big message from that was that Luffy never wanted to be weak again. He never wanted to lose someone in front of him, especially someone he cared about that's a good friend. And so if Pedro dies, it's kind of like Luffy lost someone once again, similar to how he lost Ace, and he did think of Pedro like a friend. And so if Pedro does die, that's going to wake Luffy up, and he's going to probably have flashbacks, and, he might realize he still wasn't ready or something. I could see many having problems with that, because it might go against all of the, the development Luffy got. But at the same time, though, once again, there needs to be some form of permanent consequence to this arc, because it's a Yonko, and something bad needs to happen. So I'm not going to throw it out and say that Pedro's alive or he's dead. It can go either way. But personally, not to be rude or anything, not to sound like a cold-hearted individual, I hope Pedro is dead. Not because I don't like him. He's a cool character. He's a really cool character. He's a badass. He's a certified badass. But I would like it if he actually is dead and stays dead, because it would add a big impact to this arc and just change the tone of what is going on here in One Piece. So, besides that, let's talk about Katakuri, and also just the Big Mom Pirates in general. I've discussed this a little bit off and on, in the last chapter and all that, of how the Big Mom Pirates, or, you have it to where Katakuri in general, they're not underestimating the Straw Hats at all, which makes me very happy, because there's many times that you see in any series, not just One Piece, but any series, to where villains underestimate their opponents, and they get wrecked because of it. And you're like, are you serious? After all of the things that's been done, what this character is capable of, what they have done throughout their journey, you still want to underestimate them? It makes no sense. And I really appreciate that, not just the fact that these characters are not trying to underestimate the Straw Hats, but also Oda in general are making these characters like that. So just props to Oda for the writing with these characters. But also, I really love Katakuri and how he's trying to counter the Straw Hats. How, Pero, how he's also countering the Straw Hats and thinking about what he needs to do. He's making sure they're in complete checkmate and they won't get out at all. I like how they're not underestimating them, so when they do get their asses beat, it doesn't feel like, oh, the reason why Luffy and all them got away is because, oh, the villains underestimated them and they didn't go all in. Katakuri clearly is putting everything in one basket. He's trying to fight against the Straw Hats. He's not holding back. I mean, he even warned his subordinates that, hey, if you don't get out of here and get into the mirror, you're going to all be knocked out and be on the floor in a matter of a couple seconds, so you need to go. I like how he also cares about his allies. That's a very rare thing to see, especially in, One Piece. I mean, many villains we have seen, when they have a big army or whatever, they don't care about their subordinates. They'll use them as fodder and all that and throw them out there to the dogs. But Katakuri clearly cares about his teammates. He cares about his allies. Now, this could be in a way he just didn't want them in the way or on the ground or whatever, but it does show that he does care in some way. So I do like Katakuri even more now as a character, that he went out of his way to actually warn the subordinates, hey, get out of here, he's going to use, King Haki, if you don't get the hell out of here, you will all get your ass beat. And so, I appreciate that. And he stuck the ship with Candy, because there's been many situations in One Piece to where the Straw Hats are able to get out of a dangerous situation thanks to using the jump capabilities of, the Sunny. They're able to just get out and all that with their grand escape, and it's been a reoccurring thing. I like how they can't rely on that to get out of this. It's just like, holy hell, it's looking like a very bleak situation. How are you supposed to survive this and get out without, dying, because it's not looking too good. So, yeah, anyway, so that being said, that is it when it comes to this chapter. One Piece, I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.